Edward Munch, The Scream. It was painted in 1895 and sold for 120 million last year. This one was painted an hour ago. Worth absolutely nothing. The art world is full of forgeries. Millions are spent on art and collectibles every year.
So, for 18 million.
And quite a bit of it, rubbish. As a forger, how many works of art do you think are yours that are still out there?
Hundreds.
My mission? To hunt for the truth. With my team, Catherine, Andy, Grant, and Hutch, we separate the treasure from the trash. It's a $200 paperweight. Using science,
Get the sample.
research, the provenance of this thing is what's going to make the value huge. And our gut. Why have you got 3 drinks?
It's just one round.
For our clients, our word is worth millions. This card is real. It could be worth up to $3 million. Or can cost you millions. Are you ready for my conclusion? Oh. We are the treasure detectives.
Hey,
Mark,
Curtis.
good afternoon.
How are you, sir?
Not bad at all. Today, I'm with Dr. Mark Manny, who's a prominent plastic surgeon in Beverly Hills.
We're here to see Mark, who is a potential patient who wants to trade a Lichtenstein painting for a facelift.
And that's how you do all your business?
No, I have to pay the bill, so I usually take money.
So if this thing's fake, what does he get, a shave?
We'll have to work with that. Well, it's a good suggestion. At least he gets something.
At least he gets something. Mark,
Well, hello.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Curtis, this is a pleasure. My name is Mark Crayer. I have been collecting art for probably 40 years. I would buy a painting before I would buy a sofa or a car to drive. That's how much I love art. Recently, joined my wife in Dr. Mani's office, and I was very impressed. It was really built like a sanctuary to an art lover. Obviously, this man had a real aesthetic sensibility and an interesting idea for me to open up a conversation with how about some cosmetic surgery with the doctor and perhaps exchange our interest in art and maybe work out something along those lines.
This piece is the one that you've discussed.
Yes, this is by a titan of pop art, Roy Lichtenstein. It's called The Student.
Roy Lichtenstein was a prominent American pop artist. His comic strip parodies influenced other artists of the time, and his work is exhibited in major museums all over the world. Pop art is easy to fake and very popular. And fake Lichtensteins are sold to unsuspecting buyers all the time. Why get rid of it now?
Gravity is catching up with me. I just turned 66. It was a leap of faith for me to buy this. I could barely afford it, and now I'm ready to enjoy life to the hilt and cash in a little bit. I just feel like it could be a lot tighter. I have a very loose amount of flesh.
Yeah.
Here, which you can see, can be quite ripply, and my face tends to point down, my mustache tends to go down. We can talk about various possibilities. I'm basically making this my next perfect work of art collection.
I see especially facial surgery as an art form, and I think you're a great candidate.
But doctor, no bags under the eyes like this poor
Right.
guy.
So how much did you pay for this originally?
Around $10,000.
I mean, these have appreciated reasonably well, and you would be looking at something like $60,000 if it's the real thing.
Marvelous.
Is that enough to make that man look 30 years younger?
You know, it's the kind of thing where if you have to ask, then, you know, you
should
should go somewhere else. But I love this work, and so we might be able to work something out. My surgical services are very valuable, so it's critically important that I make sure this piece of art is legit.
My job is just to be able to deliver that verdict back to both of you, and if it's the real thing, it's going to be hanging on his wall. This is a notoriously difficult item to try and authenticate in the first place. Thank you, Mark. Because its modern style, straight lines and bright colours are very easy for forgers to copy. But we've got to do the best we possibly can, because I want to get back to these two guys as quickly as possible. Have I got a story for you?
Oh, what do you got?
You'll love this one. There we are. What do you think of that?
Ooh. Wow.
Roy Lichtenstein. He really is the founder of pop art. So before even Andy Warhol, this guy started the movement. In this student picture, he's really showing a stressed student.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a good bit of kit, isn't it?
Great.
So at the right auction, this could make $60,000. Now, this is Dr. Mark Manny, who does all the plastic surgery for all the stars.
Does he do tummy tucks?
I don't know. I'll ask him. How much money can you get together?
Where would I tuck it?
Exactly. Now, what our chap wants to do is swap his Lichtenstein for a facelift.
No.
No way.
Absolutely true. Yeah, how crazy is that?
Is
isn't
a
it?
facelift really worth that much?
If you're in Beverly Hills,
That's crazy.
and it's Mark Manning, he can charge what he wants. He's got
Oh
people
my
queuing
God.
up at the door. So this, Mr. Smith, is your journey.
This is mine.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's quite a lot to do here.
Maybe he could get you guys like a 2-for-1 thing.
Yeah, you
A little bit of work, a little
you?
I could go
facelift.
for- yeah. Facelift for you, tummy tuck for me.
I don't need a facelift. What are you
Sorry,
saying?
did I say that out loud? I haven't had a drink today. I'm not really thinking straight.
Well, it's early.
I feel like this would just be so easy to fake. It's just printed. I mean, that's all you have to do is just reprint
With
it.
modern techniques.
That's the problem with this kind of thing. It's a woodcut. Woodcuts were originally works of art made by carving into wood plates. The wood plates are used as stamps to make a limited number of prints and signed individually by the artist. They're all numbered, between 1 and 50, but it doesn't mean they can't be copied.
Yeah.
The elements of this item we're examining are the paper. Is it what Lichtenstein used in the period? The signature. Is it authentic? The printing. Let's examine the fine details to see if it's a match to the others in the series. They're all numbered. They're all documented. Find another one. Let's make that comparison and put them side by side. Right, what else you got for me, guys?
I have a Lalique car mascot. Right here. It's called the 5 chevaux, which means 5 horses. The owner of our Lalique mascot is Richard Lewis. He's an artist and he paints cars.
So you painted this?
Yeah, that's actually one of his pictures. So
Wow.
he's kind of fascinated with
That's
the hood
good.
ornament, obviously.
Yeah.
And he's actually based right in LA, and he purchased this at a charity auction for $1,200.
Mm-hmm.
It could be valued at up to $300,000.
Wow. What makes him think it's worth 300,000?
Well, because recently at auction, there was another Lalique car mascot called the Renard. It's a fox, and it sold for about that much. So,
makes sense.
yeah, piqued his interest, and now he wants to see if it's authentic so that he can sell his for the same amount.
Piqued my interest at $300,000, wouldn't it? But $1,200, come on.
I mean, what a bargain.
I mean, these things, there's so many of these copied, isn't there? That's the problem. And Lalique is such an important name that everyone copies it. René Lalique was one of the finest quality glassmakers ever. Between 1925 and 1931, he created hood ornaments that were called car mascots, most either of animals or women, and all were crafted with an exquisite sense of motion and speed. Now they've become collector's items, one, because of their beauty, and secondly, they're getting rarer by the week. If this is real, whoever donated this really dropped the ball and gave away something worth a fortune. Well, I think it's a great item, to be honest. I love it.
I think it looks pretty.
So, Catherine, Grant, you're on this.
Sounds good.
Okay. I think the first thing we've got to do is let's go and meet Richard.
Yeah, I'd
Let's have
like
a closer
to.
look at this mascot. Ready?
Yep.
Let's,
Crack on?
yeah, let's. Come on then. Here.
Yeah, right here.
Today, we're meeting with Richard Lewis. Now, he is a structural engineer who's been painting classic cars and hood ornaments as a hobby for over 20 years. Now, he thinks he's got a very, very rare Lalique car mascot.
Nice to meet you.
Come on in.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. Wow.
Very pretty. These all yours?
Yeah. How long have you been painting?
I started about 20 years ago.
Oh, okay.
This is one that I painted, and it has a piece of glass in the hood ornament. The thing I love most about the Lalique hood ornaments is just the beauty of the curves and the reflections, and I always dream one day I'd love to have one. The hood ornament I have, stumbled across the ad in the paper, and it's a Lalique hood ornament, and I'm going, oh, I'd love to see that and see if it's real. No one else bid on it, so it's like, I got it.
Should we cut to the chase?
Sure.
And see something exciting?
I would really love this to be a real Lalique. I mean, it would mean my boys will definitely go to college, and I would probably build an art studio on top of the garage for myself. So here's where I keep it nice and safe. The 5 chevaux hood ornament.
5 chevaux. It's French for 5 horses.
Because it was on a 5 horsepower car.
5 CV.
Yeah, the 5 CV, 5 chevaux, and it was because it was 5 horsepower. You have to look at it from both sides, because at night it's actually more interesting from the flat side, because all that stuff just lights up in there.
So how long you had this?
I've had it 10 years now.
And you've not painted it?
Not yet.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
I feel funny going up to someone with $1 million car saying, "Can I borrow your car to pose my hood ornaments on?" And I know they've gone up in value since I've bought it. I paid $1,200 for it.
When you start seeing Lalique Mascot sell for over $300,000,
I saw that
all
one.
of a sudden you're thinking,
Yeah, I'm good.
I wonder.
If the price is right, I mean, I have fraternal twin boys that need to go to school soon.
The problem with Lalique, like any famous name, is they're very, very copied. You're probably talking about 20–25% of Lalique being fake. For you, the stakes are very high, because if it turns out to be real, it could be worth a fortune. If it's fake, then it could just be a very pleasant $1,200 paperweight.
That would be the hard part.
Today, I'm on my way to meet Andy at an art gallery to find out more about the Lichtenstein print. I've sent Catherine and Grant to get historical background on the Lalique Mascot. The basic elements we'll have to investigate are, first, quality of the glass. Does the crispness and clarity match Lalique's highest standards? We need to look at the signature. Lalique signed most of his pieces and used several different formats. Is this one authentic? And finally, we need to examine the wear and aging of the glass. This definitely shows some sign of wear, but I wonder how easily this wear can be faked.
Tucked away behind this unassuming home in North Hollywood is a museum of rare cars worth millions. Dave Steele manages the collection and is a car historian.
Hey, Dave.
Hi,
I'm Catherine.
Catherine.
Thank
Nice
you
to
for
meet
meeting
you.
with us today.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Grant, nice to meet you.
Lalique car mascots appear to me to be more decorative than functional. I want to know if these were really put on car hoods and how wear and tear from the elements would have affected their appearance.
What was like the first decorative hood ornament?
Well, the first decorative hood ornaments actually started with Rolls-Royce.
Oh, okay.
So then Packard and Cadillac and all the great manufacturers of the 20s and 30s kind of had these decorative hood ornaments, and it became a bit of a competition.
Yeah, who you think?
Yeah.
All right, let's open this up and show you what we have here.
There it is. Yeah. That's the 5 horses.
So you know about this particular ornament then?
Well, I do, because in 1925, Citroën, I think it was the 5CV is the model number of the car. They commissioned René Lalique to produce this for that car so that it would have this very ornate mascot, as they called them back then. And they were collectible in the day. People would sell their cars, and they would keep their mascots.
I feel like a lot of them would be damaged easily. You know what I mean? I wonder if there
Yeah.
were a lot of
Rocks
Lalique.
flying up,
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
Yeah,
cracking them and breaking them.
leave it to the French to put a piece of glass on the forwardmost point of a car.
So off the top of your head, what do you think, just by looking at it?
If you're asking me if this is authentic, I mean, I suppose you could fake almost anything. They're a little bit hard to authenticate because some of them have been weathered to such an extent that the detail has softened. And that's really what you're looking for, like a jeweler does, the detail. That glass being out in front, and when you're driving in the rain, it's really going to distort the features of it.
Laliques are known for their exquisite detail, but ours has a lack of crispness. It could be wear and tear from the elements, but we need to be sure, so we need to take a closer look at the glass.
Thank you very much for all your help. I'll
You guys
pack
are
up
welcome
here and
anytime.
Thank you very much.
Nice gallery. Andy and I have come to see Henry Kolsch at Hamilton Selway Fine Art. He's got good experience of dealing with these Lichtensteins, so he should have an idea of exactly what they should look like close up.
First of all, this is a woodcut, meaning they use sheets of wood in the printing process. That's why you see these lines throughout the print.
Yeah.
A woodcut is really like a fingerprint.
Block printing is quite an ancient technique. It's lots of pieces of wood stamping different colors on to create a picture. Sometimes 1 or 2, sometimes 7 or 8. Oh, you can see the way the block printing has come through the paper, can't you?
The catalog raisonné for the Roy Lichtenstein prints describes each and every print, including the dimensions, the details. Let me take some measurements.
And what are you measuring for here?
I want to make sure that the print measures correctly. Sometimes with fakes, they're off a little bit. This should be 34 inches wide. And it is.
And all his prints will be the same size, or
No.
just this?
Just this
print?
specific one. The height should be 38 1/4 inches. And it is.
Have you seen many Lichtenstein fakes?
Some.
And what causes you concern the minute you open it up if you see a Lichtenstein fake?
The very first thing is, does it look too new? This was printed in 1980, therefore it's 33 years old. It should not look brand new. This looks consistent with what an Arches paper should look like.
Arches paper is a brand of paper, and it's one of the highest quality papers that any artist would want to use.
This probably looks very close to the color it was at the time of publishing.
So does that not cause you an element of concern because it looks so good?
The fact that the paper is in such good condition could be a concern. It measures out correctly.
Yep.
This is an edition of 50. As you can see, the numbering is in the right place and it looks correct. And although the signature looks good, that is one thing where you'll see fakes. In comparing it to this signature, you'll see that the F has the upswing going to the left, whereas this one comes up and then sharply to the right. However, I do believe this signature is Roy Lichtenstein's.
Absolutely. Henry looked at our signature and was concerned about some of the differences between ours and other Lichtenstein signatures. And he's seen enough to know.
There are always people out there who professionally sign other people's signatures and are very good at it.
So we need to get this signature authenticated. So if we take this somewhere, like, say, somebody who analyses handwriting, something like that.
I think we need to do it ASAP. Thanks, Henry.
I'm Catherine. Nice to meet you. Lorraine Straus has been a glass designer and artisan for over 30 years. She has repaired hundreds of Laliques and is an expert in the brand. I'm betting she'll be able to give us some insight on our mascot's wear.
Do you work with Lalique?
I have repaired it. I have a piece here that needs to be repaired. I have seen this.
Have you?
Well, not in person.
He spent $1,200 on it.
That's all he spent?
Yeah.
Well, I would think it would be more.
That's what he thought, too. Sometime recently, one went for over $300,000, a car mascot that was a Lalique. So $1,200 is a pretty good steal, huh?
Or they really got taken. I honestly, I'd want to look at this under the microscope.
We can, if you want to.
Sure.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Not sure about it.
Well, so what kind of things do you look for when you look?
The quality of the glass, that it's clear, that there's no green in it, because then it would mean that it's a current piece of glass, not an old piece of glass. That's normal wear and tear, the little chips. There's a chip right there. Oh, and here's a chip. Now, this is Lalique, and it is a compote bowl. But when you look through this, see how beautiful and crystal clear that is?
Can I hold this up? I don't want to end up hitting yours, but that does look a lot more clear and shiny, though, than this one does.
That could be the age. I'm on the fence with this one.
Today I've had the lithograph sent to Bart, who's a handwriting analysis expert. Hopefully he'll be able to tell me whether the signature is real or forged. Bart.
Andy.
Great to see you.
Good to see you, my friend. My name is Bart Baggett. I'm a court-qualified forensic document examiner. And what that means is I look at signatures and documents and authenticate them or spot forgeries. We have some other pieces of artwork which were from 69, 84, 92, 97.
Yeah.
So we have 4 what I consider reliable, known signatures on other lithographs. And then what I did is I mocked up a little image here for you. This is the 92, right on top of it.
Oh, yeah.
There is this right here. Look how perfect this is. Boom, boom, boom. Pen lift, downward stroke. So far, this part of the handwriting is a perfect match.
Okay.
This first part, this is where a little bit of differences are. And so this is what concerns me about this, is this R is a little bit different in shape than these are. So if there was one flaw or one area of concern, it would be that R. I would have some concerns because I would say, look, this is a little bit shaky, a little bit bigger. If I wanted to be absolutely certain that this R was in the range, I would probably need more than 4 originals. Give me 50.
So, if you had to give it a percentile?
I feel pretty good about this. I'd give it a 95% that this is an original.
So, does that mean there's a 5% possibility that this signature could have been done by a very good forger?
That's exactly right.
The signature doesn't set off major alarms, but we still have serious questions about the print itself.
So how are we getting on with this Lalique thing, then?
Well, I did a comparison with our mascot to some authentic Lalique glass. And the authentic Lalique glass was crystal clear. There were hardly any imperfections. But our mascot, it's got some bubbles. The color, it's a little bit hazy.
So at the moment, we don't know if that wear is real. We need to come up with something to be able to test whether that wear is possible to recreate.
Something like a wind tunnel.
Yeah, could be, I suppose.
It's going to blow past it, it's going to blow debris, you know, we can throw leaves in there, so you would get quite a lot of wear.
So we need to come up with something then that's like a wind tunnel that can recreate what it was like being on the hood of a car. So where are we with this Lichtenstein, then?
We did a comparison with other Lichtenstein signatures. Certain parts of the pencil stroke, fine, but certain parts of it were definitely not the same.
We need to find something that's a bit more conclusive, really.
Yeah.
There's other student Lichtensteins around, isn't there?
Yes.
If you went down and found one, and we took a negative of that and matched it up on top, if that matched, then that's got to be conclusive.
I think that pretty much knocks it out of the ballpark.
So that's going to tell you if it was...
Well, you know...
What's that going to tell you?
It's got marks in, hasn't it? You know, a piece of wood is unique, like a thumbprint. So if you took a Lichtenstein print, they'd have all been done from the same piece of wood.
Right.
If we took a negative of another one and compared it to ours, we can confirm that they're both from the same print run.
Okay.
So do you mean a transparent negative that you can lay over the top?
Yes. So this is going to give us our answer.
Let's do it.
Well, crack on.
Curtis wants to reproduce the weathering of a glass object that was on the hood of a car. So I've built him a wind tunnel. It's definitely the best wind tunnel I've ever made, but to be fair, it's the only wind tunnel I've ever made.
Evening, Mr. Smith. Hey, Andy.
Evening, gentlemen.
How you doing, bud?
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I'm a happy bunny.
So this is what we got here, huh?
You want to age things? Right. Got a leaf blower at that end. Switch on the leaf blower. Air flows this way. It blasts across your item in there. Job done.
Right. Yeah. And this has taken you all day?
Yeah, pretty much. What? What?
I'm just a bit disappointed with the leaf blower thing. A plexiglass bread box, a beat-up leaf blower, and a $10 dolphin with beady eyes. This doesn't look promising.
It'll do the job.
Are you hanging around to...
No, I'm not.
Oh, I see. Hang on. Hang on.
Andy, don't leave like that.
OK, let's give it a go. I want to see how easy it is to artificially age a piece of glass.
Ready?
Yeah. Now, this isn't an easy task, because a car mascot that's sat on the hood of a car travelling at 70 miles an hour, over the years, it would be chipped, it would be sandblasted. I want to see if I can come close to the look and the feel of Richard's mascot. If I can, sadly, there's a fair chance Richard's car mascot might not be what he thinks it is. Sand?
Some leaves.
OK. A few more stones, maybe?
Ready?
Yeah.
I did blast it. Oh, look at that.
Look at that.
Oh, there's a lot of chips in it.
It's not bad, is it? It's, to be absolutely honest.
Hello.
Hello.
What
Got
are
a
you
present
guys
for
up
us.
to?
I'm making a mess. That's what
Yeah, I can see that.
We're aging this rather beautiful statue.
Let me see. I want to see.
You look at that.
That's perfect. Yeah, that looks a lot like the little dings in ours. Now, it's got a nice filmy cast to it.
Ooh, you see, it didn't earlier.
And it's funny, too, these little dings right here. This really does resemble a lot of the wear on our Lalique piece, because there's a couple little dings and that filmy cast.
Yeah, I was just starting to that's worrying. The wind tunnel successfully managed to age brand new glass and make it look weathered as if it had been on the hood of a car. Now, this is a tricky one, because I can recreate it exactly, so can a forger. So I think it's time to call in another expert that deals with Lalique all the time for a second opinion. We need to look at how car mascots have aged when they really have been on car bonnets, which they were for a few years. So hopefully we'll solve this mystery once and for all.
I've tracked down another print of the Lichtenstein from the series of 50. So today, Curtis asked me to come to Art Scans. Dave.
Hey, Andy.
It's where they can produce a negative to compare with ours.
First thing we'll do is a focus procedure.
When they scan in squares, and then the computer then lays them perfectly together, so there's no overlap.
So each square is exactly 2.000 inches. That's the goal.
Wow.
Hit the lights right now.
I'm guessing by the sound, she's related to R2-D2.
And now it's going to shoot row by row, color by color. Each square gets a red, green, and blue exposure.
That's all done.
Now it's processing the scan to assemble all the pieces correctly into a final file. There it is on screen. It's full.
Yeah, you see the graining on the black there? That's where it's more prominent than anything else. But that's actually grain off the block.
The wood.
Where
the
it was
wood block
printed.
itself.
Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely
magical.
fantastic.
So let's see what this looks like in negative. And the inverse here.
Oh, wow.
Is that what you're looking for?
That is great.
This is exactly the opposite of the wood block.
Yeah, even in the negative, you see these little marks from the grain of the block itself.
And what we can now do is make a reverse print on transparent media and send you on your way.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much indeed. Now that I've got the transparent negative of the Lichtenstein, I'm going to take it back to Curtis at headquarters and lay it over Mark's Lichtenstein to see if it's an exact match.
This is big.
It is big. The Nethercutt Museum has one of the world's finest collections of vintage cars and hood ornaments. Nice to meet you, Curtis.
Marchetti.
Hi, Skip. I'm Catherine.
Hi,
Nice to
Nice
meet you.
to meet you, too.
Let's go. This is fabulous.
This is awesome. I can get used to this.
Fabulous.
That's called the Flying Lady.
The most famous car mascot of all time.
Then we have us here, the Lalique crystal.
Look at them. And how many Lalique pieces in the collection here?
Maybe 200.
Oh, so it's a good collection.
I've got the Sing Chavo.
So there it is. Well, it looks the same as ours.
It looks very similar.
So the question still remains. How does the quality of glass, size, signature, and shape compare to a real Cinq Chevaux?
So here's ours.
Okay. It seems that it was used for many, many years on an automobile. So it would have gotten some sandblasted, probably driving on dirt roads or something. Everything ages.
What a shame. Ours one's got the 5 horses. The Lalique signature, same place.
Right, but the France is off to the side.
Yeah,
On his and
ours is a
underneath.
little different.
It's etched in rather than cast in.
Right, it
Yes.
looks to be etched.
In the catalog for this mascot, there's a photograph of the inscription in this book, and here's stock number 1122 on yours. You can see clearly here that there's the number 1122. So
I don't know whether you've had any of these cracked when you had the earthquake and managed to
yeah,
reconstruct them.
We saved several of them. A car collector who does repairs on Lalique crystal, he put a piece of a nose on Vitois for us.
Right,
Wow.
okay. According to the catalogue raisonné, everything seems to check out, but it's relatively worthless if it's been repaired or damaged.
99% of the people would not see it, that
Yeah.
it was a repaired piece.
So I want to take a look at them using that black light we've got. So we're going to see none of the damage unless we use this single monochromatic light. If the black light shows that this Lalique Mascot is intact, it's worth a fortune. But if we pick up hidden restoration or damage, it's going to make it worthless. Well, first, I'm going to look at your Lalique car mascot. And if there's any repair or new glass has been injected, it's going to look solid, as opposed to see-through with the crystal glass.
I see.
So this is your mascot?
Yes.
Well, there's certainly no repair on your Lalique. That's for sure.
Good news.
So now I'm going to look at our Lalique car mascot under the black light. There appears to be no cracks in this at all, and it... Look at this. Well, I think we've got our answer, haven't we?
I'm home, honey.
Oh, about time, Mr. Smith. I was wondering where you were getting to.
Everything comes to here you wait. I have the negative.
Marvellous. I had Andy make a negative transparency of a real Lichtenstein student to be able to match up with ours. This should give us the answer we're looking for.
This is a negative print of an exact copy of The Student by Lichtenstein. A photo was taken of an authentic print of the series, and then a negative was produced.
So all these woodcuts should match up?
Yes.
I need to be 100% convinced that this hasn't been produced by a master forger. So what I need to do now is compare the wood grain fingerprint from our Lichtenstein with a Lichtenstein that we know to be genuine.
Right.
Look at that. There must be thousands of these little woodcut marks.
Yeah, it's everywhere. It's even on the striping there. There you see the graining on the black there? Match perfectly.
Yeah, and that at the top.
Yeah. Now, if you move that down, it lines up there.
But it doesn't line up the white. Yeah. That doesn't look like it's lining up to me here. What's the signature like? Not bad, but not perfect.
I wouldn't want to bet on it.
The woodcut and the negative don't match up perfectly, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fake. Because every one of these was hand-printed, so there's going to be slight variations in every single one.
So some parts of it match picture perfect. Other parts, there's a slight difference.
See, I think I know the answer now. Cup of tea? Hello, Richard.
Hello, Curtis. How are you?
I'm very well. Good to see you.
Good to see you again.
Welcome to our home. Come and take a seat.
Well, today I'm here at Curtis's headquarters because I want to find out the results of his investigation into my Lalique coat ornament. Is it real? Is it fake? And I'm hoping he has a good answer for me. I'd be thrilled if he does.
Like I said to you when we met, we always try and look at every item like we've never seen it before. But this is a particularly interesting thing because I'd never seen one before. My biggest concern to start with was its quality. Now, this one's been in a museum collection for 50 years. The museum item is clear glass. Yours, for want of a better word, has that frosted look. The wear on this one is even, but there's far less wear than yours. The museum piece has the signature in the right place, but the France is laid alongside the word Our Lalique. Your car mascot, the signature had France almost laid over the top of it. As with this picture here, it kind of looks a little bit scrappy, the way it's been put on. The last thing we did was run a black light over your Lalique car mascot. What we're looking for is cracks or any kind of damage. I got my answer. But I think we've done probably the most thorough investigation is humanly possible to get to the conclusion of whether this is real or fake. And my conclusion, I think, is absolutely definitive. You know, I know when I deliver it to you, I'm 100% right. And the reality of it is, your car mascot is definitely the real thing.
Oh, good. That makes me happy.
You did really, really well at that charity auction.
Yeah.
$1,200 a decade ago for a rare, beautiful, first edition Lalique car mascot. I would suggest, because it's somewhat weathered, if it went into an auction catalogue now, it should go into the auction catalogue to be conservative between $30,000 and $40,000. Because they don't come up for auction very often, this could be the one Lalique car mascot that someone wants to complete their collection. So I would not be surprised if this item sold for $300,000. If it's catalogued correctly.
It'd be a hard thing for me to afford to keep, essentially, because I have kids that are going to go to school, go to college, hopefully. It takes a huge weight off my wife and mine's shoulders. So it's a great feeling to know it's really, really real. It's a wonderful feeling that I have something that could really make a difference to my kids' lives and put them through school, hopefully. So I can't imagine feeling better right now.
Well, the journey, Richard, is over. Pleased? Happy with the results?
Oh, yes.
I shall bid you farewell, sir.
Great.
Thanks,
well,
Richard.
Thank you so much. This was wonderful.
And wonderful for me, too, to get a chance to live with it for a while. Today, I'm going to Dr. Mark Manny's office in Beverly Hills to meet with Dr. Manny and Mark Cryer, and I'm going to deliver him my verdict about his Lichtenstein. Hello, Mark.
Well, hello, Curtis. If this passes muster, I'm eagerly anticipating the new me, which will be the result.
Hello.
Dr. Manny.
Curtis, how are you, sir?
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Today is a very big moment of suspense. I have a mixture of excitement and trepidation about it, so I really got my fingers crossed.
I mean, this is quite unique for me, this one, because it's not just about money here, it's about something else.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's about rejuvenation.
Yeah, it really is. The first thing we did with this is taking it to a gallery. What we wanted to do there was compare the signatures of his to the signature of ours. There was a slight discrepancy from him. We actually took this also to a handwriting specialist. The signature was a 95% match, but these things are easily faked. There's forgers out there that spend their life doing nothing but signatures. That's what they do.
I was on pins and needles. With this type of art, there are cases where assistants have stolen these types of lithographs, and I was afraid it wasn't an authentic Lichtenstein.
So, for us, we needed to do one final test to be sure. Best thing to do is to create a negative of another well-documented student by Lichtenstein. Now, when we laid out negative over the top of this, some of the woodblock matched up perfectly. Other parts didn't. So after all these tests,
I'm on the edge of my seat.
this Lichtenstein is 100% authentic.
And Curtis gave a passing mark, and I was like, yes! And sometimes I've been burned, but apparently not in this instance. So I'm very glad to know that that's the case.
I'm very happy about it. When Curtis revealed the conclusion, it made me realize how emotionally wrapped up I was. So I felt an emotional release when he said that it was the real thing. It was like a triumph.
The signatures don't always match. Why would they? Because as people get older, they change their signature. Now, the woodblock didn't perfectly match up, but it's handmade. The printing block wouldn't always line up. Remember I showed you this picture, which is our negative. When we laid it over the top, the wood grain did match perfectly.
Wow, that is a fingerprint match.
Yeah. So, we know it's real, and I think you've picked a spot out for it already, haven't you?
I have. I'm really excited about it. Let me show you guys where I'm thinking about putting it. I'm extremely excited that now the Lichtenstein is going to be mine. So I'm trading an old face of Mark's for a new face.
I love it. Looks great.
And I think it's going to work out perfectly. I'm going to look at old pictures of Mark also to kind of determine what he used to look like. And that's the idea, to turn back the clock, but not too far.
I can't wait to see when the bandages come off and look in the mirror and go, aha, there's me at 45 again. Astonishing job.
Good to meet you. I think you're in safe hands with this man.
Thank you very much.
I'll see you both soon.
Thanks, Curtis.
I think Dr. Manny was delighted, but I think Mark was more delighted. He's realised he did buy a good piece of art all those years ago, and he's realised his investment, just in a slightly strange way. Why are you carrying a big brown parcel?
Because we had something made for you.
I'm going to be pleased with this, aren't I?
I think so.
I hope so.
It's not a picture of Andy, is it?
Why, would you like that?
Oh, well, no, I wouldn't after 30 years. It's the Lichtenstein negative. That's really cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do you know, it's funny with this, isn't it? Because this is real, the Lalique's real. Two things, both absolutely real. That doesn't happen that often. So many fakes and forgeries out there. Well, I'll drink to that.
Cheers.
Cheers.
It's quite good looking, this, isn't it? These are worth a fortune this season on Treasure Detectives.
Beautiful.
From the Flying Dutchman to a virgin queen.
Blimey. Answering the question,
Is it real?
only gets harder.
There's hope, but at the same time, there's doubt.
Millions are on the line. The Stradivarius is worth 12 million. We'll consult with criminal masters.
That is my Mona Lisa.
We'll try to beat them at their own game.
This isn't an easy thing to fake, is it? Not accurately. No.
Investigating every lead. We may have Neil Armstrong's cufflinks, whether it's a dream come true,
Welcome.
$500,000, or a client's worst nightmare. We are the Treasure Detectives.